You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only financial news and talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. First time on Ron Siegel Radio, author, The Modern Woman, Discover Your Inner Sweet, Sexy, Badass Queen. Trez Ibrahim, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you with us. I'll never remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. And let's see what we've got good. National Stay Home Because You're Well Day. My voice just breaks up when I say something like that. I don't know, unless you work at home, do you really get to stay home because you're well? Well, maybe if you won the lottery, and I don't think anybody won last night. I didn't check. Let's see. National Meth Awareness Day. Okay, stay away from it. That's how you can be aware. Mason Jar Day. It is what it is. Yeah, okay.
It is what it is.
But I've beaten anorexia, so we're going to go with National Mousse Day. Chocolate mousse. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad you picked chocolate there, Josh. That's chocolate mousse, little whipped cream right there on top. Does anybody hear me drooling? Don't answer that question. But you can if you're watching us on any of our socials. Say hello. Chat us know where you're listening from. Okay. I think renting a Tesla is a dream for the younger generation. Where did that come from, Joe? Okay. Renting a Tesla. Okay. Okay. Let's do. Let's see what else. Yeah, just say hello on the chat so we know you're there if you would. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. Wow. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 308 points. The S&P 500 is down 5. NASDAQ is down 100. Oil down 265 a barrel. Maybe we need to get Minnie back here. Somebody please wake up the president. He was going to refill the strategic petroleum reserves if oil got under $80 a barrel. Mr. President, it's under 80. I know that you've got Bidenomics and you think it's helping people, but maybe you'll just help by filling the strategic petroleum reserves just in case we need it. Just throw that out. Speaking of strategic petroleum reserves, gasoline, $4.88 right here in the formerly Gold State. That is the average price of a gallon of gasoline here. $3.24 in the rest of the country. Josh, you're at $4.18, and Ariane, she's at $3.18. $3.18 for gasoline right there in Utah. Our loan officer assistant right there. $4.88 a gallon here in California, though. It'll be fascinating to hear. Now, not that I'm going to plug another station or another program, but let's just compare here because I know there is a debate tonight. We're going to have the governor of Calizuela. Yes, that would be Gavin Newsom. And from the United States of America, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. And I'm not a big fan of his, but gasoline in Florida right now is $3.09 a gallon compared to California at $4.88. And Governor Newsom is going to tell us that the oil companies are gouging people. Do they only gouge people in California? Or is there some other reason? Maybe it's the high taxes and high fees that we pay in California. Maybe that's why, because I don't think the oil companies are saying, I like Florida better at $3.09 a gallon compared to $4.88. But it'll be fascinating to listen to see what they say about this in the debate this evening. At least we go in the right direction in gasoline, because a year ago we were paying $5.04. Now we're at $4.88. That is a little bit of a benefit. Helps some people. And I heard the president yesterday. He was in Colorado telling everybody how great we're doing economically. $11,000 a family more just to put food on the table in America now from when he took office. 11,000 more. I don't think wages have increased by that much, but who knows? The president will tell us that, and we'll see if we can. Well, most of the media, they're not going to fact check. They don't fact check anything that he says. I mean, when you really think about it, what's going on out there in the world? It's just amazing to me. I got to turn my mic down again, Josh. Okay, or maybe it's just me talking too much. Okay, so we're going to watch all of these things. It's going to be fascinating. Are you going to watch the debate tonight, 6 o'clock our time? No, me neither. It's going to be a football game is on, so I think I'd rather watch the football game. I'll get the highlights or the lowlights, because I will predict this. I think that Gavin Newsom was going to run for president. Just throw that out there. I have a feeling that President Biden, once the media starts turning on him, because they haven't fact-checked anything he's done, anything he's said, but you watch the border, you watch the world going up in flames, Israel, Ukraine, our southern border, a lot of stuff going on. And, I've said right along, I don't want him to try and make things better, just turn things back to where they were, because every one of these items were better before he came into office. But maybe that's just me looking at what's going on in the world. I know that mortgage rates were a lot better before he took office, right? I mean, we were talking, going before last year. That has to do with a lot with my friends at the Federal Reserve.
Idiot.
Yeah, I know.
Idiot.
They are.
Such an idiot. Such an idiot.
Federal Reserve. Stop that. Stop it.
Idiot.
Okay, somehow they'll stop it. But, we got a big benefit going in, Josh. I don't know if you saw this. The Federal Reserve, they've got a meeting coming up on the 14th of December. They go into their quiet period. Best time of every 6 weeks is when the Federal Reserve stops talking. When they stop talking, the market does better. Is that why the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 300 points right now? Maybe. Could be the Federal Reserve not talking and it's better off. Now, it's going to be fascinating. I haven't dug in to see why the Dow is so much higher, because when the NASDAQ is down, the biggest component of all of these different issues are the big seven. And if I tried to repeat all of them, I'd probably get them wrong. But Microsoft, Apple, Google, NVIDIA, Amazon. And you get those account for the majority of what's going on in the markets. Yet when the NASDAQ is down, that means those stocks are probably not doing as well. Yet the Dow is up almost 300 points. Just throw that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is owning a home still the American dream for younger buyers? We'll talk about it, and we've got charts to support what we have to say. And we're going to talk about the modern woman. I'm gonna throw this out there, because my mother, may she rest in peace, used to say she was totally against the women's lib movement. She said she didn't want to take a step backwards. But that was her mantra there. You can reach me anytime off here, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel, Geneva Financial, to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Every day, let's see, the Mortgage Minute today be brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Ready for that next home loan? Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Got a great mobile app. If you're thinking about buying a house anytime in the next 6-12 months, grab the app, ronismylender.com, ronismylender.com. Let's see what's going on in the markets today. The S&P 500 is down 6.71 as we speak. I guess I'm supposed to do that later. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they give us the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. They don't tell us points paid or points received or APR, just the locked rate. But they've got a 42% market share, so they know what they're talking about. 30-year conforming loans yesterday locked at 7.1, up. Oh, that was down. Maybe, is it Friday yet? 30-year jumbo loans, those were up 7.479. 30-year FHA loans, 6.919. Those are down. 30-year USDA, 6.986. Those are down. And the best loan on the market for those that earned it, that would be our veterans. The VA loan, 6.626. Oh, that was down a lot yesterday. Love seeing the VA loan going down. That's my favorite loan because those are the men and women that allow us to do what we do on a regular basis. And yes, we are part of the #1 lending team in America for the Homes for Heroes program. If you want my commentary each morning on the market, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Usually a 2-page little synopsis of what's going on in the mortgage market, totally free to you. But let's see what's going on now in the market overall, because I looked at yesterday and I gave you this a little early. S&P 500 now is down 10 points. It's going the wrong direction. 10-year Treasury is up 6 basis points, 4.32. Mortgage-backed securities, the bond itself is down 5 basis points. That means interest rates are going up. They always go the opposite direction of the bond. Did we hit the wall yesterday? I talked to you a little bit yesterday about the technical part of the market. I'm not going to do it again. We did hear from Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic yesterday, who said that he believes the downward trajectory of inflation will likely continue. He also thinks that economic activity will slow in the coming months. While he's not a voting member this year, he will be voting next year on what rates do, so he could be voting on rate cuts. We got the PCE. This is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, personal consumption expenditures. So that inflation was flat in October, which was 1/10 lower than estimates. Year over year, the index decreased from 3.4 to 3%. I guarantee you, the news this afternoon will be saying that inflation is flat. There's no inflation. That's just for the month over month. So, but it was still 3.3%, which is in line with forecasts like we saw in the CPI inflation report. Lower oil and gasoline prices help. Core, which is what the Fed focuses on, strips out food and energy for those that don't need food or energy. Rose 0.2% last month, decreased from 3.7 to 3.5 year over year, also in line with estimates. Annualizing the last 6 months, Jerome Powell, Fed chair, said that he likes to look at the last 6 months to get a more current look. Inflation 2.4%, very close to their target. I wonder what Bauman is saying now. We talked about her yesterday. A lawyer doing this economic work. Housing component of PCE rose at 0.43% last month. It is up 6.9% year over year, which is down from 7.2 in the previous report. I figure will continue to move lower and help inflation as the lags catch up. If you were to catch up, shelter within the core PCE report and account for those lags, real-time core inflation will be at 2.6%. Personal income rose 0.2%, which was in line with the expectations. Spending rose 0.2%, again, in line, big decline from the 0.7% in the previous report. Savings rate rose from 3.7 to 3.8. That's good, but still remains near the lowest levels we've seen since 2008. Jobless claims measures individuals filing for unemployment benefits for the very first time rose 7,000 to 218,000. While this was in line with estimates, it could be skewed as it encompasses the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Was anybody really going to file for unemployment during Thanksgiving? Pending home sales. We got that report. Don't listen to Diana Olick. I'm sure she's going to give you bad information today as well, like she always does. Measures signed contracts, existing homes fell 1.5% in October after rising 1% in September. There's nothing to buy. How do you sell anything if there's nothing to buy? Big problem out there. Today's reading was a bit better than expectations, looking for a 2% decline. And remember, this was when rates were at 8%. Likely that sales will improve from here with the recent decline in rates. Sales are now down 8.5% year over year. Again, still nothing to buy. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat. Our guest, Trez Ibrahim. We've got in a chat. She's wrote a book, The Modern Woman. Discover Your Inner Sweet, Sexy, Badass Queen. I guess I can't read this then.
You can absolutely read that. You can
Can
learn
I?
a lot about women. Yes. By reading that.
Then I might be in real trouble. Tell me a little bit about the book, Trez.
So, I was a daughter of the whole feminist movement.
Okay.
And promised equality for all. And women, I don't think we ever really got equality. What we got is a whole lot of extra work. And
Quite true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this was kind of my vision of recreating that balance where I can, we talked about this earlier, most successful women have failed marriages, and young women now feel like they have to choose between a career and family. So this is about how you can be and do it all. How can women be successful, kick bottom at work, be independent, be strong, be powerful, and still be a woman, still be feminine, still be taken care of. So it's balancing the feminine and masculine aspects of women.
That's kind of an interesting concept because during the break I was sharing with you my mom's feeling on this.
Absolutely.
And she just, and my mom worked all the time. I mean, so it wasn't like she helped run a successful business, but always the lady.
Yes.
Right. And never had to change that. And I was always so proud. I was a big fan of hers. We were a fan of each other. But the whole idea was she was able to balance that. And she didn't like the feminist movement, just because I guess she had her own ways, but she raising a family, taking care of a house. Maybe it's just because she had a good partner in my dad, because he didn't want her to have to do anything that he didn't want to do.
Well, it sounds like she embodied the concepts in the book, because the book talks about being sweet, which is that mothering, nurturing, loving, connecting part of a woman. Balanced with the sexy, that's the playmate, that's the fun, sexy, vivacious, alive part of the woman. Balanced with the badass, that's the person that can be successful and set goals and achieve goals and run a household, run a business, run the world. And the queen is that lady. She's the one that is connected to her core. She's the one with manners. She's the one that's kind. She's also the one that lets the men be the heroes in her life. So having all of those four, I call them archetypes. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with archetypes, but they're characteristics.
I'm not. I'm just a simple guy here sitting doing a little radio.
Yeah. So archetypes are qualities that are inherent in all of us.
Okay.
And so what I teach women to do, I teach my clients to do, is to incorporate all these four types in your life, in every area of your life, so that you can be strong and powerful and still be feminine, still let the men take care of you, hold the door open for you.
So why is it that you made that comment about that what was the most successful women of failed marriages? Why?
Well, that's because they're being the man. That's because they're really embodying the masculine characteristics. They forgot their femininity. They forgot to sit back and allow people to take care of them. They've lost their core, in essence. They're becoming, and I know, I was a victim of that, because growing up, I wanted to be the best man in the room. And I started competing with men. I liked the results or the benefits that men got. So I forgot who I was as a woman. And
that's an interesting concept. You like the results or benefits that the man got.
Yeah, because I wasn't controlled. I got to take care of my own bills. I got to make decisions. And so to me, I looked at being a woman as weak. That's how we were raised in a feminist movement. We didn't want to be women. We wanted to be men. We wanted to compete with men. And so we kind of denied our femininity, but it doesn't work.
No one ever, but I think the first person I've ever heard say that, right? That the feminist movement was was trying to make women weak. Is that what you said?
It was drawing women into competing with men. It's like we want everything that men have, and so we stepped into our masculinity. So we started wearing the pants. We started making the money. We started saying we don't need men in our life.
Well, boy, your book is really timely with some of the goofy things that are going on in college sports and whatnot right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think women have incredible gifts to offer, and they still need to bring their femininity to everything they're doing. And so there's really an elegant way to be successful, to again run a household, run business, and be happy.
Is there something wrong when I look at it and say, there is a difference between men and women?
Absolutely, there is a difference.
Right? I mean, it's to me, you look at it and you say, I don't want my wife to be a man.
No,
right? We've got a great marriage for a lot of years.
Absolutely, and I think what's happening too is that the strong women are weakening the men, and then they complain. Why isn't he taking charge? Why isn't he providing? Why isn't he protecting me? Why isn't he being a leader? It's because women have become so strong, we're castrating men.
Interesting.
And that's the dynamics that I see happening. And that's why most successful women can't hold on to relationships. They need to shift how they show up with other people.
Interesting. We're going to continue this conversation. I'm learning a lot here. And I think a lot of guys can learn a lot here. And a lot of ladies should be listening to this as well, because there's a lot to be said about, there's a reason there's two genders. I mean, it goes back to Adam and Eve, right? There's a lot going on here. And something, we should be who we are and embrace that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is owning a home still the American dream for younger buyers? Yes, we're going to give away another trip. We appreciate you. Your choice, Hawaii, Nashville, or Lake Tahoe. Where do you want to go? So we're going to give that away. Don't go away too far. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018692.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. You could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, don't forget, we're going to do that raffle at the end of the broadcast today, or maybe a little before the end. So you got to keep listening and to find out if you want to win that trip. Nashville, Lake Tahoe, or Hawaii, which is my favorite. We're going to give that away. Again, we don't pay for the transportation, taxes, or fees, but you got a nice hotel. Let's take a look at the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Is owning a home still the American dream for younger buyers? Everyone has their own idea of the American dream, and it's different for each person. But in a recent survey by Bankrate, people were asked about the achievements they believe represent the American dream the most. The answers show that owning a home still claims the #1 spot for many Americans today. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, and you have our socials, the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you're seeing some charts. We put them up there so you can see these things. Homeownership remains the #1 feature of the American dream. Owning a home, 74%. Able to retire, 62. Successful career, 61. College degree, 33. I think that's going to keep on dropping based on some companies saying it's not a requirement anymore. According to the graph, owning a home is more important to people than retiring, having a successful career, or even getting a college degree. But is the dream of homeownership still alive for the younger generations? A recent survey by 1000 Watt dives into the two generations many people believed would be the renter generations, Gen Z and millennials. See how they feel about homeownership. Specifically, it asks if they want to buy a home in the future. The resounding answer is, I guess I should get my drum roll on here, but sometimes the drum roll just takes too long, so I look at it. But again, we've got this on the screen for you. Gen Z and millennials, do you want to buy a home at some point in the future? 95.5% said yes. Those of you that did old math, not Common Core, will realize that means 4.5% say no. Plenty of reasons why someone might prefer home ownership to renting. Same 1000 Watt survey shows that for 63% of Gen Z and millennials, it's that your place doesn't feel like home unless you own it. Maybe you feel the same way. Hey, don't forget, next quarter, we're going to actually pay someone's mortgage. There are limitations, but we're going to pay for someone's mortgage. So make sure you're talking to the team about how you get that. The emotional draw is further emphasized when you look at the reasons why Gen Z and millennials want to become homeowners. For all the financial benefits homeownership provides, in most cases, it's about the lifestyle or emotional benefits. So let's take that chart on there also. The primary reason you want to own a home, 59.16%. We're pretty precise on this one. Emotional lifestyle reasons, pride of ownership, a place for me and my family to call home. If you're part of the Gen Z or millennial, you're ready, willing, and able to buy a home, you want a great real estate agent by your side. And don't forget, the loan limits just were announced yesterday, going up, starting the first of the year. Loan limits. I mean, it's Orange County. I think almost $1,150,000. It's pretty close. What does this mean for you? If you're part of Gen Z or a millennial and you're ready, willing, and able to buy, great real estate agent. Give me a call. Their experience and expertise in the local housing market will help you overcome today's high mortgage rates, low inventory, and rising home prices to find your first home and turn your dream into reality. Working with a local real estate agent to find your dream home is the key to unlocking the American dream. Bottom line, buying a home is a big, important decision that represents the heart of the American dream. Don't go to the Walmart of realtors. You want someone that knows what they're doing, that's got experience. Yes, you got to pay them. But are you going to the cut rate surgeon? Just throw that out there. Probably not. Give me a call. I'll put you in touch with a great real estate agent. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continuing our conversation, Trez Ibrahim is with us. We're chatting about her book, The Modern Woman, Discover Your Inner Sweet, Sexy, Badass Queen. Now, let's break some of this down, Ibrahim. Trez, I'm sorry. Inner sweet.
Yes.
What is inner sweet?
So all of those.
No one's ever referred to me as inner sweet. So I guess this book, I'm not a modern woman, I guess.
Well, so you've got the sweet, sexy, badass. I mean, those are 4 specific archetypes. So the
Okay.
sweet is the mother. Now that's the stereotypical mother. She's very nurturing, giving, loving. She connects with people. She anticipates your needs. So she knows what you need even before you do. She's so connected. That's why she has that intuitive sense about her children. That's why she, when her husband comes home, she knows, how to make him feel better. Now, too much of
that. This is a family show. We're not talking about that here.
Well, I mean, making him a nice meal or,
Okay.
a hot cup of coffee or something.
Martini.
And so absolutely pouring him a drink after a long day's work. So, but too much of that can make her a martyr, can make her a doormat. That's the mother that is so connected to other people's needs, she loses touch with her own. And so
isn't that her partner's job too?
Well, but that's how the other archetypes balance her, so that she sets boundaries and she doesn't get too focused on everybody else. She loses touch with herself, because the responsibility is really on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Bill, I know. Dr. Bill's putting on here. I think Ron is inner sweet. Okay.
I love it. I love it. So, so now that's balanced with the sexy. The sexy is the playmate. Now,
Okay.
a lot of women start having children, and then the men complain the intimacy goes away.
Okay.
Or they're so, again, busy taking care of everybody, they let themselves go.
Okay.
And so the sexy is that part of woman that needs to dress up, that needs to have fun, that needs to let that inner child out and play, that enjoys intimacy, that enjoys being vivacious and outgoing. And so too much of that can make her maybe promiscuous. And also a little flighty, and some people can't count on. So that's balanced with the badass. The badass is the CEO in a woman, and that's a part of her that sets boundaries. So whereas the mother always says yes, the CEO says no.
Oh, okay.
She's the part of the woman that says enough's enough. You're taking advantage of me at this point. She's the one that sets goals. She's also responsible for earning money. She's the one that can run a household, run a business, run the world. She's the person that does what she says what she does. She's very organized, very diligent, very independent. She can take care of herself. And so that makes her powerful and strong. And then all that's balanced with the queen. The queen is the high priestess. That's the part of her that's soft. That's a part of her that's connected to a deeper core. I call it spirituality connected to something greater than herself. She's a woman that knows who she is because of who she is. You know, it could be God, divinity, the universe, the tree, whatever you want to call it. She's a woman that that walks in the room and lights up the room, and she doesn't have to say a word. So it makes her a lady, it makes her kind. She's the one that never gossips. She doesn't say anything bad about anybody.
I was on with you right there until the last little part. Right? Because there are a lot of folks that fit that, but they continue on. That must be the fifth part of the architecture then, is the one that gossips.
Well, what it is gossiping is never good for anybody. It just brings you down.
Right.
So, but the badass can be tough. She can say, oh, heck no, this is not going to happen. And the queen.
But does that have to be at work, or can that be on a personal level also?
Anywhere.
Oh, okay.
She's very disciplined with her children. She sets standards and expectations with her spouse. She holds her employees to certain expectations. She's very clear in her communication, and she sets immediate boundaries. So the queen sets boundaries, whereas the mother is just going to give and give and give. The CEO steps in. CEO in her steps in and say, okay, enough's enough.
Wow.
So all of this
sounds pretty complex.
It's when you get to know these four parts of you, you can really play with the whole, I need a little more badass here. Or I'm on a date, let me bring the sexy playmate out. This man is crossing the line. The CEO needs to step in and say no.
Okay.
So that's how the balance happens.
That sounds pretty interesting. There's a lot to this. This is pretty.
It is.
This is pretty serious stuff for a Thursday morning or afternoon, depending upon when you're listening.
Well, I'll tell you, there's an equivalent to men as well, and so men can really step into all parts of themselves as well.
Okay, so that's where Dr. Bill becomes the modern woman.
The modern man.
A modern man.
I would say discover your inner kind, charming, badass king.
Okay. I don't know. So is that book out?
Not yet.
No. Oh, we're hearing about. Are you breaking news right here?
I don't
working
know.
on that?
We'll see. I tend to be attracting a lot more male clients, so we'll need to work on something.
Are you attracting male clients because males are constantly trying to figure out women?
Absolutely, and they're trying to figure out their place among women because they want to be a man, but then they're being shot down for trying to be a leader, and so a lot of men are getting that rude awakening after 15-year marriage. Wife comes and says, "I want a divorce." And they have no clue why. So they need to understand how women are changing, how the world is changing, and how they need to show up.
Yeah, that's a big issue. I mean, because and what is it? Every 7 years something's different. Mm-hmm. As far as and I look at like I've said before, I'm 36 years into a life sentence. But you look at the first 7 years, we were just us, and then we had toddlers. Mm-hmm. The next 7 we're dealing with school, so we've got a whole different family dynamic. And then, the next 7, I know after like 20 some years, my wife was trying to figure out what's her place, right? Because she was so busy raising kids and watching the kids and being their taxi driver and all that, they almost lose, what's your identity?
Absolutely, and that's the problem with mothers is she's so much spending her time taking care of everyone else. She does lose who she is, so she needs to balance it with the other archetypes. And I'll tell you, with men, one of the things women ask for is, be more emotionally available, be more connected to your emotions, and then we ask, and then we complain that they're so weak and wimpy. So that's where men are getting mixed messages.
Yeah, something, and I have a feeling, I think a lot of it has to do with this divisive culture that we're in. But we're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you, but we're going to give away a prize when we come back, a trip, Nashville, Lake Tahoe, or Hawaii. I might even talk about that favorite loan of mine that's going on right now. Snowflakes, Dr. Bill, you're right. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. One of my favorite new loan programs, only for savvy investors, savvy borrowers. It's a first position home equity line. So you have access to the equity in your property, but the effective APR, I've seen them as low as 1.7% lately, and that's current numbers. Yes, you have to understand how to work it. We did it if you go to rsrhomeselect.com, we'll show you exactly how it works, because it also helps pay off your loan. And a 30-year loan, 10, 12, 13 years, give or take. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com. Josh, let's give away a trip. It's the holiday season, so I like this idea. And we're going to give away a trip. Yes, it is going to be your choice. Hawaii, Nashville, or Lake Tahoe. We don't pay for the transportation, taxes, or fees. Or if you're in Tahoe, we're not going to pay your gambling debts either. But you can go right on there. I'm going to tell you in just a minute. Josh is going to push the button. If you're watching us again on any of our socials or the video feed, you're seeing a bunch of lines on there. Every line is a different person. I have no idea who they are. You can go to Wheel of Games, I think, or Wheel of Names, and you can see it's all random. So I have no idea who the winner is. Josh is going to push that button here in just a second, and we're going to find out who's going to win. Go ahead and hit it, Josh. Douglas Lee. Douglas Lee is the winner today. That's pretty nice. Douglas Lee is the winner. I don't know. Now, here's the idea. I'm not calling you Douglas, so you have until 7 p.m. December 1 to collect your trip. 7 p.m. And again, your choice. You have to let us know. Do you want to go to Hawaii? I think Hawaii is 5 days, 6 nights. Nashville, 4 days, 3 nights. Lake Tahoe, 4 days, 3 nights. Douglas Lee is our winner today. So, oh really? That's funny. So Josh says you're like the next one of the next names up.
Oh,
It might have been you. Yeah. So that would have been great. We've never had that happen before, Josh. Okay, so there it is. That's our gratitude. We always have a little bit of gratitude that we show. We never take for granted the fact that people have other things they can do with their time. So we appreciate that you're listening, and we're going to continue our conversation. Trez Ibrahim, we're chatting about the modern woman. Discover your inner sweet, sexy, badass queen. And for those of you guys that you can call, we've done this before. And this time, Trez, you might appreciate this. So at this time of year, I frequently will have a criminal lawyer on the show, and I have an owner of a limousine company. And we do that at this time of year because we figure let's help people understand what's going to be most cost effective, a DUI or hiring a limousine for the night. So the criminal attorney says it's about $15,000 for a DUI. And the limousine company says about $200 for the night. So now what we need to do is we can have you come on with a divorce attorney. Yes. Read the book and understand your partner, and it's probably a lot cheaper than divorce. And I'm just going to say I wouldn't want to be single anymore.
It's tough. It's really tough out there. The rules have changed. People don't know what their place is. Everyone's doing their own thing, and there's still an elegant way of navigating that. And yes, figuring this out is much cheaper than a divorce.
Right, exactly. Before the break, we were talking about knowing our place, mm-hmm. And I shared with you during one of the commercials that I'm old school. Mm-hmm. I raised my kids old school. I've taught my boys old school. I'm not ashamed of it, saying that some people say I'm chauvinist. Some people say I'm chivalrous. Might be a fine line in there. But I tell my boys that I still open the door for my wife for the car, for a restaurant, wherever we go. My boys have been taught the same thing. They do that for their wives. And we go to a Starbucks. I know my son's gotten chastised sometimes.
Yeah. I think the beautiful opportunity we have as women now is, I can open my own door. So that gives me freedom. That gives me independence. But it's nice to know when I'm with you, I don't have to.
And that's a big issue right there.
And that's the space that we can step into is that, yes, I'm not needy, but I do need you. Yeah. And I benefit from other people in my life. I benefit from the man in my life. And he benefits from me in my life because I'm responsible as a woman for his spiritual upbringing, for his spiritual nature, for that emotional support. And that lets him go out and slay dragons and make multi-millions. And really a man is more successful when he's got a strong, incredible, loving woman by his side.
100%. It's kind of funny that you say that because maybe 10 years ago or something, I made that comment to my wife. Mm-hmm. I said, something, it's her that gives me the strength to go and do what I do.
Absolutely.
Right. If she doesn't have to go and do it with me, mm-hmm. It's fun now that we do a lot of things together, but, knowing that she's there and that I get to go home to her every night, I wake up with her every morning. Mm-hmm. That's the strength.
Yes. And for a woman, it's for a man to be able to provide and protect her allows her to really step into her femininity and be more of a woman and be more loving and giving and providing for her circle, for her family. So a man stepping in and protecting her, making her feel safe and secure is absolutely important.
Now, this is great for us talking about this for the last hour. Mm-hmm. How does somebody go the next step with you to have you help them?
They can absolutely reach out to me. I'm on all social media platforms. Trez Ibrahim. They can DM me.
Okay. And where to get the book?
That's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yes.
Isn't everything on Amazon nowadays?
Everything's on Amazon. I will say, though, you have to type in my name, Trez Ibrahim, to find the book. If you type in The Modern Woman, you'll get 2 million books that pop up that have the woman, the name woman in there. You won't find it. But with my name, you'll find the book. And it's a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yes.
What's it cost?
$19.99, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, so go in there, search Trez Ibrahim. We've got it running right across the bottom of the screen. And do you do individual coaching or just the book?
I do one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
I also do group coaching. I have a number of programs, and I also have a specific program for how to discover your inner sweet, sexy, badass queen.
Good, Dr. Bill, that's for you. I'm going to get you that. I might even get you the book, Dr. Bill. Okay, so
And I do coach men and women. Like I tell you, I'm attracting a lot more men these days, and I love working with them because I want them to step into their masculinity as well in a powerful way and not upset other women.
So we only have about a minute left. I want to ask you this question, though, because you're coaching men to understand their masculinity, but what about coaching men to understand what their women need?
Absolutely, and that
Is
goes
that part
hand
of the
in
same
hand.
thing?
Oh yes, because part of a man's nature is to protect and provide and preside over their women. So how do they do that?
Especially in this day and age when in many instances you go and do that, you get chastised.
Well, because women feel like they're being controlled and they don't want to be controlled. They want to be led. And I teach men how to be leaders, not controllers.
That's a big difference.
Absolutely, big difference.
Okay, so Josh, we got a bunch of work to do. I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to read because I don't know how to read. And Trez tells me she doesn't have this on Audible yet, but
Not yet.
at least it's big print. So I haven't read a book this big in years. Jeez. Okay, but I'm gonna have to get it and share it. I know a bunch of people that may really like that. I might have to call my wife and tell her that this is what we're giving out for the holidays this year. Okay, but as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And as always, remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
But it's July, getting paid by the hour.